If you're new here, my name is Anna, and if you're not new here, welcome back. Today we're doing something a little bit different, and that is a writing vlog, or more specifically an editing vlog, because we are working on editing my first draft into draft 2 of what will hopefully be my debut novel. So let's hang out for a couple days and see how much editing we can get done together. I know this is such an aesthetic breakfast. While I eat, I talk a little bit about what it is I'm doing. Talk a little bit about my story, just a little bit, to get some context to what we're editing. So I wrote this story in 2023, and I have let it sit for a significant period of time. I think I started editing it like January 2024, but even still it's like for a year later that now I'm still working on editing it. And something that I think I was struggling to find how I wanted to edit, like my process, and so I just kept putting it aside, and also letting kind of like the fear of this is never actually going to amount to anything stop me from even trying. But now I really am more motivated to do it. I actually want to do it, especially because I have another couple story ideas that I would like to play with, but I really want to get this edited first, at least through draft 1 edits, to see, reading draft 2, if it's something that I want to continue editing to attempt to query with, or if it's something that I'm just like, okay, this was a great first try writing a story, great first try editing a story, but I don't think this one is ready. Maybe in a few years when I can kind of rework it and I have more knowledge about writing, because I like the story idea. I just don't know yet if it will ever necessarily be ready for publication. So my story, romance genre, small town. Our protagonist, whose name right now is Mallory. I don't know if these names will stick. Mallory is a bookstore owner in her hometown, Beach City on the East Coast, inspired by Long Beach Island, and our love interest is a author who is visiting the town to work on his edits for his upcoming book. And they butt heads immediately, and chaos ensues. So it's like a enemies-ish to lovers kind of trope, as well as some small town, that's not really forced proximity, but forced proximity kind of vibes. Also we have I think great cast of friends who are very meddling, very much want Mallory and our author, whose name currently is Caleb. It's definitely changing because I don't like his name anymore. They're really pushing them together. I'm now editing in Scrivener. I originally started editing on paper and it just was not working for me. So I've typed all my notes up into Scrivener. But what I'm doing now, so what I've been doing now that I'm transferring everything to Scrivener, I went through and added all of my note card notes to the inspector, like the notes section in the inspector. So this was anything that I had written for the scene. But I'm rereading because it's also been a long time since I've read through the story, which maybe I should just do a full read through at this point. But so I'm reading the scene with the notes in mind, and then go into the comments section and just adding thoughts, both related to the notes I had, extra thoughts, and where I think the changes should be added. And then after that, I go through and type up the changes within the scene itself. This has been working for me so far. I'm liking the results of these scenes more than when I was editing it on paper and then retyping it. I think they are more seamless, as well as I think better, and I think I also had more detail typing it than writing it. The other thing that I think has been good about doing it on the computer is that I wrote half of the story, or yeah, probably about half of the story in third person, and then I changed it to first person. So not only do the pronouns and the tenses have to change, but my voice changed a lot when I started writing in first person. And I think those changes, the change to the voice has been easier to make on the computer. That was such an annoying edit to make also, in case you're wondering, having to change all the tenses. But I am happy that I made the decision to switch to first person. I might in the end switch everything back to third person because I think I prefer to read books in third person. I'm still waffling about the tense. My writing is better in first person. I think it's easier for me to write in first person, so even if I change it back to third person, like the voice will still be there, which is good. So I'm just gonna keep working on this scene. I'm not trying to do too much a day. I'm like doing like one scene a day. Because, you know, a little a lot, better than a lot a little. So I finished editing the scene I was editing. Lovely. I finished editing that scene that I was doing. Next scene is a very long scene, so I don't think I'm gonna start it. I've been trying to do at least a scene a day. That's kind of my goal, is a scene a day. And if I do that, it'll take me just under a month to finish editing the rest of this, which I think is good. It's obviously not my job. So I have other things that I have to do. But so I think we're gonna take a break from editing for today. I might read. I've been reading The Anatomy of Story by, who is this? John Truby? My daughter's coming. Oh, thank you. Thank you, perfect. That's what I needed. I think between my second and third draft, I want to kind of use this process to kind of really work out anything. So I'm trying to read that in the next, I guess, month, so that I'm prepared for that. See you tomorrow, I guess, for more editing. Morning, it's Tuesday, I think. Yeah, it's Tuesday. And for today is to edit a scene that's currently only 357 words. I know a lot needs to be added to it. This one, I think, had a lot of like internal struggle things that I just like didn't know what I was doing with the character yet. So it needs to get added now. And then I might start the next scene I have to write from scratch. Joy, oh joy. Which I'm actually kind of looking forward to, because editing is kind of slow and painful. I kind of am excited to write something. I have it mostly outlined. I might outline it a little bit further and then write it. It's probably like a shorter scene. It's kind of like a transition-y kind of scene. So probably like 1,000-ish words. It's just really to connect, to have a little connection bit. But yeah, so that's the plan for today. I already went through and read my very short, my like 400-word scene, and kind of wrote out my thoughts about what I want to add, and I will work on editing that later. I think I'm gonna get ready for the day first. I'll have some breakfast. Hello, I am back. Mom life kind of took precedence yesterday. I had to, you know, do mom things. So we took a bit of a break from the writing and everything. I did end up finishing the scene I was working on, the shorter one. I about doubled it in length, which is good. So it was always going to be a shorter scene, but I do think it has more of a purpose now, which is kind of a big thing. Before it was definitely... I read it and I was like, why is this here? What are you doing? So I finished that and then I started writing the scene that I needed to completely do from scratch. And I think it's really funny that I was like, I'm so excited to get to write again. I don't know why that wasn't an act. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, writing is hard. You know, I feel like when I had been continually writing, I was like in a groove where I started to get good at it. Yeah, I'm not good at it anymore. Writing is hard. And also, since this is like first draft writing within my second draft, am I supposed to go back and edit these words before I say it, like it's a second draft, like before this draft is done? I know it's obviously completely up to me, but like if you were doing that, do you go back and edit it, or do you just like leave those? Because theoretically they should be better because you know what you're doing, but apparently I don't. So I don't know, but that is the goal for the rest of today. I probably won't do that until my kids are in bed later and I'm watching TV with my husband. We've been watching Tournament of Champions, where he watches it. I sit there and I kind of watch it while I do other things. Tournament of Champions on Food Network. I love Anywho'sin. She says, like, that's a normal word. Yeah, I've got a no words in today. I'm gonna try to finish that scene that I'm writing today, or at least get some more words in on it. Kind of like the writing with kids around is like, some days it's just so easy, and then some days they want significantly more attention, which is fine because they're children. But yeah, so yesterday was a less time to write day. Today, less time to write day. Hopefully they go to bed easily tonight so I can have some time to write then. Tomorrow my son's home from school, so probably less time to write tomorrow as well. But we'll see what happens. I don't know how to end this. Good morning. It's Friday. We made it through another week. The end of the week for me has not been nearly as productive as the first half of the week. I am blaming that on the fact that I had to start writing. I'm like, how far? Let's see. I wrote 530 words of the scene that I had to write from scratch, and I have gotten so incredibly stuck. I don't know where to go with it, I think. Well, I think I do know where to go with it. I just don't know how to do it in a way that doesn't feel very unwieldy and very wordy, and I'm just not sure if it'll be interesting to read. So I've been kind of like putting it off for the past couple days. I keep not doing anything, but I don't want to keep editing because I don't want to end up layering stuff in the scene that later on isn't mentioned anymore, because I went through and edited the rest of the book before I wrote these scenes. So it's been really holding me up. So I think today I'm gonna do a couple rounds of sprints. I personally prefer shorter sprints. I think that just is easier for me. Like when I'm really struggling to write, I will literally do like 5-minute sprints, like 5 minutes on, 1 to 2 minutes off, just like so that I'm telling myself I have to focus for 5 minutes and that's it. But so I'll probably do like 10 to 15-minute sprints. I think once I get going, it shouldn't be too difficult. I think the other thing is I'm trying to balance a conversation between 3 people, and that can be kind of hard to not end up, 1, with one person just like, why are you here? And 2, with just way too much dialogue. I hopefully can get this scene done. I actually have to write another scene after this one. So we're gonna do, I think, 10-minute sprints. No, 15-minute. We'll try 15-minute sprints and see how it goes. We'll do 15 minutes on, like 5 minutes off. That's the first sprint done. I wrote 482 words, so I almost doubled the length of the scene in that 15 minutes, I think I did. So that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. I closed out one part of the scene. So kind of like the conversation between the 3 people's over, one of them left. And so it's kind of, I don't know really what's considered a scene. It's, you know, continuation of that scene, but different conversations gonna happen now. I do think that I might need to go back and add some more of the main characters' like thoughts in between the dialogue. I find that very challenging to get her thoughts throughout dialogue between other people, because I don't want to like break it up so much that it's confusing or gets really like this conversation is so drawn out. Yes. Is it still considered a sprint if they're done an hour and a half apart? Hashtag mom life. I finished the first sprint. I had to get my kid ready for school, feed the other kid, take the kid to school, hang out with the other kid, and then I was able to finish the scene. So I think that with that scene finished writing, that's gonna be the end of this, like, that'll be the end of this video. I'm fingers crossed we'll get some more writing done tonight, at least a start on the next scene that I have to write. But also, if I want to get this video edited to post tomorrow, I need to finish now. Okay, I lost my tripod to my child. So just a little recap on what I managed to get done this week. It is not a lot, but I do think it is realistic for the stage of life that I'm in with 2 small kids at home, and also just managing motivation. So I edited 3 scenes totaling 4,862 words and added 530 words across those 3 scenes. One of the scenes I actually removed words. It's a lengthy one. And I wrote 1 new scene at 1,582 words. So that brings my manuscript word count up to 61,498. I don't know what my original word count was, but I'll put it here. I am slightly concerned as I'm editing it that I will not end up with a full-length novel. I think that there's still a lot that is being left unsaid in a lot of these scenes that I could be saying. I think that part of like being this is like the first novel that I've written. I'm trying not to overwrite. So I think that I'm pulling myself back and like reading myself in a little bit too much. I'm not being as descriptive as I could be, and I'm not, I think, putting as much internal monologue within scenes as I could be. So I think that I'm just going to continue as I'm going right now, keeping those things in mind to hopefully improve for the rest of this draft. Like, I have about half of it left. And then for the next draft, really focus in on getting myself to a full-length novel, focusing on those things more. But if I think after like finishing draft 3, if I'm still not at like full-length novel, I think that at this point I just need to, it'll be time for me to say this is done. I need to set this aside and move on to a new project because clearly something is not working here. So that is going to be the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching and hanging out with me as I attempt to get back into editing. I hope that you'll consider sticking around and subscribing for more writing vlogs and updates on this potential novel. I'll talk to you all later. Bye.